A lot of people that have issues doing things like sissy squats are just really tight in their hip flexors, but also in their rectus femoris, which does flex the hip. So if you have tight, if you're sitting down a lot, your quad, your rectus femoris actually can be really, really tight. Papa Swole, are there any home hacks to doing sissy squats without equipment? Well, sissy squats are designed to be done without equipment. I do not them, Sam. I am. Those like fucking weird, you hook your feet under it. That's just asking for knee pain. I never do those. I do legit sissy squats. So you can use a wall. You just have to just limit. It's a lot of stretch for your quads, especially your rectus femoris. So the rectus femoris is the only quad muscle that crosses the hip joint and the knee joint. So the vastus intermedius, the vastus medialis, the vastus lateralis, they don't cross the hip joint. They just cross the knee joint. So a lot of people that have issues doing things like sissy squats are just really tight in their hip flexors, but also in their rectus femoris, which does flex the hip. So if you have tight, if you're sitting down a lot, your quad, your rectus femoris actually can be really, really tight. So you can I use the parallel bars too also. You could also add resistance if you have a resistance band, one of those loop bands around the backs of your knees, but pulling from a frontal standpoint, but that can cause some issues or pain. Sometimes if you try to go really heavy and you have really strong bands behind your knees, that can kind of like dig in a little bit. But sissy squats are fantastic. You don't need equipment. So I'm not sure what equipment you're referring to. If it was one of those little U foot hooks with the pad behind the calves, I'd fuck those things. But you could use a wall or a chair just to get used to it. Just switch sides so you're not just, you kind of balance out so you're not twisting one direction all the time. Love me some sissy squats. Are there ways to prop your feet to get in a stable position for the squat? I have to see what you're doing. You can elevate your heels. Sure, you can get one of these. My hip just cracked. You can get one of those slant boards. I have 3 of them. I have a big metal one, I have a rubber one, and I have 2 individual ones. I'll put them, I wonder if they're still available on Amazon. I'll put them in my store so you can use those. That will keep your heels slightly elevated. You can also put them up on plates or have 2 dumbbells so you don't have to worry about rocking your heels all the way down, so you can stay up on your toes for that, if that's what you're referring to. You could also do sissy squats with one of those thicker bands, those loop bands around your lower thighs, just above your knees. So you can also kind of work on a little bit of some hip abduction. Excuse me, what you're doing.